let's get back to stocks and how. We're getting back to the exchange itself. Last quarter saw an increasing amount of bulk and large trades on the BSE. In addition, the exchange has revised their transaction charges. Ashishkumar Chauhan, Managing Director and CEO of Bombay Stock Exchange, now joins us with more details. Hi Ashish, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. First, if you can run us through the recent changes in transaction charges on financials, the impact on financials.
So basically, the recent changes in the transaction charges are in a way to bring India in line with the rest of the world. In rest of the world, the charges are basically on per lot basis or per share basis. Whereas somewhere along the line, India went on a basically value basis. Over the last 20-25 years, we have been running that. And so basically BSE's attempt was to bring it in line with the rest of the world and see that how it affects. But overall, it is basically revenue neutral. It's not something which will give tremendous upside or downside to anything, except that some people may find it easier or sort of cheaper to trade on BSE, or rather I would say most people would find it very cheap and also in a sense very predictable, because otherwise like a few months back, a lot of people asked me, especially the bulk block and even larger traders, that if you are charging us on per value basis, how is it that per transaction your costs vary? And so I didn't have an answer. And so this was going on for a year actually. We asked many brokers, many investors, and many of them said that we need to go towards international practice. This will also help bring a better touch line, as they call it, because earlier people used to put in one share, the algorithms. Now they'll have to put probably larger number of shares because they may not find it easier to or sort of cost effective to do it on one share each. So this will basically also bring it better for the small investors, because small investors don't do this one share business. Small investors generally put larger orders and so on and so forth. So that is where I think this is basically to bring more retail people, more comfort, more confidence, more continuity in the market.
Ashish, good morning. Even though it's a one-off, all these block deals, but how much of market share has it helped you gain? And of course, is it sustainable?
Basically, this month has seen a good market share improvement. And of course, it has a particular reason. So April onwards, we'll have to wait and watch how the market share sort of looks.
Okay, the other thing we are watching out for is the CDSL IPO. That will be a big trigger for the company. When can we expect it?
See, basically, we have requested SEBI. Our board had taken a conscious call to request SEBI, saying that if other companies' promoters have been given rights to nominate a few shareholders in proportion to their shareholding, or at least a few shareholders, few shareholder directors, if BSE also can be allowed to do that, because it's part of the CDSL's article of association also. So SEBI is taking a view, and as and when they take a view either side, BSE basically will request CDSL to move forward.
Okay, how much will BSE make out of the CDSL IPO? You hold about 50% stake. You'll have to divest part of the stake to comply with the SEBI guidelines. If you could give some numbers.
No, basically, BSE has invested over a period. Earlier, BSE was basically practically the only owner, and then slowly BSE divested its holding to many other holders, and later on BSE also bought some stake back. And so there has been a kind of a little churn over last 10-15 years into CDSL's shareholding as far as BSE is concerned. And as and when the IPO happens, we'll come to know what kind of valuation there is, and on that basis. BSE currently holds around 50%. BSE is planning to divest almost 26%, so that we remain below 24% as per the SEBI regulations.
Okay, you know what, let me change the question in this fashion. Will you be able to deliver the growth that you delivered over the last 2 years?
It is difficult to predict, as I told you, but we'll continue to work. We have several newer areas like mutual funds, like SMEs, debt distribution, IPOs, debt IPOs like this year. I have been told that with our 2 lakh crore plus debt distribution, BSE has become larger than the entire banking system in providing funds to the, or marginal funds to the corporate sector. And so effectively BSE has done many large things over last few years, and of course the gift city, probably commodities as and when they are allowed. So there are many such activities that are going on, and I don't know which one of them will succeed and which one of them will actually end up giving good revenues, because you may succeed but the revenues may be a little farther away and so on and so forth. So effectively we have many sort of things going on, and they are we don't do anything which is not allowed by regulators. So effectively if regulator allows us, we end up doing that activity.
Okay, Ashish, thanks a lot for your time today, and we wish you luck for